Look, as we said, another name missing, probably the biggest one from the Freedom Summit, is John Ellis Bush. The former Florida governor instead is going to be giving a commencement speech at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, the school famously founded by Jerry Falwell, and also where Ted Cruz announced he was running for president a couple weeks ago. The setting matters a lot, and so do the words of Bush's speech. He has rehearsed this speech, carefully written it. It's a big one. One of the excerpts released this evening, the advanced excerpts tell you in and of itself how big a deal the Bush people think this is. Bush is going to say, quote, "Whatever the need, the action, or the injustice, there's no more powerful or liberating influence on this earth than the Christian conscience in action." John, why is this Jeb Bush speech so important to his candidacy?
I want to ask Bill what he thinks about this. Bill, what do you think about this? That's a crucial question. Bill doesn't have a view. Okay, so I'm going to take Bill's proxy and say, we've seen in polling recently, Mark, that John jealous Bush has a problem with conservatives. We know that on a lot of fronts. We've seen it in recent polling. He's got to figure out a way to connect to the conservative base. He's not so far been able to do that, and it's not just a question of Common Core or immigration. It's something deeper. This is a way to potentially open up a kind of visceral connection with the people that make up the core of the Republican base.
The only way he erases in the voters' minds the dominant narrative about him now, which is son of a president, brother of a president, is with the kind of compelling narrative that Bill Clinton had, that George W. Bush had, that Barack Obama had. His most compelling narrative for a lot of his advisors is his faith and how his faith infuses all of his public policy ideas. This speech is going to be a lot about his Christian faith, right, and what role he thinks it plays in the world and connects to his Right to Rise agenda. Watch to see the level of performance. They want him to show his heart. Let's see if he can do it tomorrow.
Well, let me just read another excerpt from you here, from the speech here for you, to give you a sense of how much he's going into full kind of culture warrior, deep evangelical kind of mode, although he's a Catholic. In works hardly even noticed by the popular culture, so many young Christians today are showing the way, moved not by pity for what is, but by a vision of what can be. For all who would serve the poor and the homeless, you set the standard with your belief that everyone matters and everyone has the right to rise. That's, as you just mentioned, Mark, linking up his slogan to a deeply kind of Christian conservative message. A lot of conservatives in the party don't think Jeb Bush is a conservative. that could be something Mike Huckabee could have in his speech.
Yeah. Look, in New Hampshire, these themes are not necessarily as big a deal, although they are for some voters. But certainly in Iowa, certainly in South Carolina, Jeb Bush needs to show people, again, not just that he's conservative and not just that his views are informed by faith, but that he's got a personal narrative that they will find compelling. Yeah. And his conversion to Catholicism, how faith has been a big part of his life, is something he's going to have to break through on if he's going to overcome the narrative of being son of, brother of.
Totally agree, but conservative matters a lot. All right.